Hello. So we are going to continue today with the previous chapter, that was the classes chapter and the keywords which we had learned. So we have learned the final keyword. We have seen the static keyword, the abstract keyword in the previous class. Now today I'm going to introduce you one more keyword, that is this keyword. Okay, now the name itself says this. Okay, so this is nothing but a pointer which points to the object which calls any method or accesses any variable. Okay, so let's see what it is. So this is nothing but a reference variable. So normally whenever you create an object, like for example a is equal to new, a is equal to say obj equal to new a. So obj is nothing but what? Your object. Okay, and it will point to a copy, it will have its own copy of its class. Okay, so what is the class having? State and behavior. So this is just like a pointer variable, okay, which points to the object. Okay, so we call it as a reference variable which is pointing to an object. Now this can be used with the help of, like, in various conditions we can use this keyword. So we are just going to see few of them, not all, because it will go outside the scope of your syllabus. So this can be used to refer current class instance variable. It can be used to invoke current class method. It can be used to invoke current class constructor. It can be passed as an argument in the method call. It can be passed as argument in the constructor call, and it can be used to return the current class instance from the method. So these are the various places where we can use the this keyword. So I'm going to highlight with some few examples the few of this where we are using this keyword. Okay, now one of them was, this is used to refer current class instance variable. The this keyword can be used to refer current class instance variable. If there is ambiguity between the instance variables and the parameter, this keyword resolves the problem of ambiguity. Okay, so just keep in mind it refers to the current class instance variable. So just see an example of it. Now for example, I am having this class student having instance variable roll number, name and fee. Okay, now here actually this is a constructor. So we've not started, but I'll just tell you quickly what is a constructor. A constructor is a method which has got the same name as that of the class name, okay, and which is used to initialize the instance variables or the member variables of a class. Initializing means what? Putting some value. Okay, now in this case this is a constructor which will accept three parameters: roll number, name and fee, and that value will be assigned to roll number, name, fee. Now you can see this, the instance variables and the parameter variables names are same. Your roll number is same, name is also same, and fee. So the if such thing comes in place, okay, like if a user has declared the parameters of a function the same way what it is defined inside the class, then what will happen? Okay, now you can see display is a method where system.out.println, I am printing the roll number, name, fee. Okay, test, this one is the name of the class where public static void main is there. Okay, in which I am creating two objects, s1, s2, and calling display with s1 and s2. Now when is a constructor called? A constructor is called when you create an object of that particular class. Okay, so here you can see this is a constructor having certain parameters. So this constructor will be called when I create an object. So student s1 is equal to new student. So these are nothing but the values which I am passing, and these will get stored in this roll number, name and fee, and it should get assigned to roll number, name, fee, and when I say display, then it should display the value. So these two objects s1 and s2 constructor will get called when I create an object. Okay, so if you do something like that, student say s3, that time the constructor is not called. Okay, constructor is always called when you when you create the object, that is when memory is assigned to it. Now in this case we are having a constructor with parameters, so you have to mention the parameters over here. Say I mention something like that, I am passing the parameters. Fine. If the constructor is not having any parameters, then no need to pass the values. And a particular class can have more than one constructors also. So when I'll do the constructors topic, then I'll go in detail. But at present, I'm just trying to tell you what is a constructor and how it is called. Okay. Now we are focusing on this keyword in this example. So let's just focus on that keyword first. So I'll just go in my folder and I will compile this program. Okay, file not found, maybe the location of this program is somewhere else. Let me check the location. Okay, it is in some other folder, Java PRG. Okay. Okay, so it got compiled. Now I am trying to execute this. Now you can see the values have come as null, 0, null, 0. That thing means what? The variables which we are passing, those values didn't get initialized. Okay, that is S1's roll number. When I say roll number, over here it is nothing but S1's roll number. When I call here first time S1 dot display, so S1's roll number, what it is, 11111, so it should get print. The name is Ankit and fee is 5000 F. Okay, so that value should get printed over here, but it didn't print. Why? Because here the arguments which you can see over here, these are nothing but the local parameters. The name of the local parameters is same to the instance variables. So this is not, over here roll number is not an instance variable, it is the local parameter only. So when you come out of this particular method, the S1's roll number has not got initialized. Okay, so now what it is, like the first point what we learned, okay, that it is used to refer current class instance variable. So if you want to refer to that current class instance variable, then I'll use the keyword this. So this over here, this dot roll number, this dot name, and I say this dot fee. So over here now this roll number is different, and here this dot roll number is nothing but, it is nothing but just now we said this is a keyword which points to the object which called the method. Okay, so here first line S1, who has called, which object has called S1, so this will be pointing to S1. When I create S2, then this will be pointing to S2. Okay, so now the actual S1 object and S2 objects instance variable have got initialized. So we will just save this and again compile it and execute. Now you can see the values have come. So when you are having the member variables and the name of the local parameters same as that of the member variables, then to refer to the object, then we have to make use of the keyword this. Okay, so this was one of the feature of this. Okay, now let's see where next, which place we can use this keyword. Okay, now this is used to invoke current class method. You may invoke the method of the current class by using the this keyword. So as I told you before that it is used to refer to the member variables. Similarly, it is used to call the methods also. So if you don't use this keyword, compiler automatically adds this keyword while invoking the method. Okay, now let's see how actually what it is I'm trying to say. Now see this, class A void m is a method. Okay, there is no body in it, means nothing, no definition. Void n, in this I'm calling m, that is this method will be called. And you have got public static void main, a new a of class A's object is getting created, dot n, okay, that it is calling n. In n I'm calling m. So the compiler, what the compiler sees this program as the same program, but it is saying this dot m. So we don't use this, or we don't write this particular keyword, but the compiler uses it explicitly like this dot m. So this is referring to the object which called that particular n method. Okay, so we'll see one example. Okay, now this is a class A having a method m, okay, and a method n, okay, and I am calling this m over here, and I am creating an object of a, and I am calling a dot n. Okay, so if I just compile and execute it, the output will be the same. Okay, so you can see first hello n has come, then the m method is getting called, and then hello m is getting printed. But what if I don't do this? Okay, I have not done that. Okay, but still the output will be the same. Because the compiler, when over here when I am saying m, actually in the background it is this dot m. Okay, so the compiler is actually doing it in this way, this dot m. So it is calling this particular method. Okay, so this keyword is also used to call the method of a particular class. Okay, now the next place where this keyword can be used is, it is used to pass an argument in the method. Okay, now you know what is an argument. So we can pass this keyword as an argument also in a method. Let's see an example. Okay, now in the last class we have seen passing an object as a parameter. So over here something like that is there. Okay, passing an object as a parameter. So here I am having a class S2, okay, which is having a method m, which is now over here. What is obj? Obj is nothing but a reference variable. And what do you mean by reference variable? A reference variables are those variables which can hold the address of some other object of the same type. Like यहाँ पे S2 also the whatever address it is holding, it should be of type S2. So object is a reference variable which holds memory location of other object. Okay, so here I am printing method is invoked. Here I have got a method p, in which I am calling method m and passing this. Now this is what, this is an argument. Okay, so in public static void main I just created an object of s2 and I say s1 dot p. Okay, so what is actually happening? S1 is an object. Through that object I am calling the method p. Okay, now this pointer is pointing to which object? S1. Okay, now in this I am saying m, that is I am calling this method m. Okay, and I am passing this. So what do we mean by this? The address of this will get stored in obj. Okay, and we are just printing method is invoked in it. Okay, and this obj over here is nothing but it is pointing to S1, and this is pointing to S1. So actually how it is, I'll just show this. This is pointing to S1. Okay, and over here obj is pointing to S1. Okay, so when I create an object, that time this points to the object. Okay, and here when I'm passing this, when I'm saying this, okay, so this is nothing but I'm passing the address of S1 which gets stored in obj. So obj is pointing to S1. Okay, so you get this method is invoked. Okay, so this variable we learned, this variable can be used to access, or it is used to point to a member variable, or we call it as an instance variable. This keyword can be used to call a method. So this keyword can be used to call a method. And third we have learned is we are passing the this keyword as an argument to a method. Okay, so this is an argument to a method. Okay, so these are the three places where we have seen how this keyword can be used. Now the next concept is, what do you mean by method overloading? Okay, now if a class has multiple methods having same name but different parameters, it is known as method overloading. Okay, so like I'm having a method called as sum which will add two integers, or I have a method sum which will add to float. So I am overloading the name of the method, that is what sum, but the parameters are different over here. Okay, so advantages of method overloading is what? Method overloading increases readability of the program. Different ways to overload the method. Okay, there are two ways to overload the method in Java: by changing the number of arguments or by changing the data type. Like I am having a sum having just an integer as a parameter, and another sum having a integer and float. Okay, both as a parameter. So I am changing the number of arguments or changing the data type. Okay, the data types can be different. Okay, now in Java, method overloading is not possible by changing the return type of the method. Okay, I'll just quickly do it with an example. First see an example. Okay, so this is, you can see overload is the class having sum. Now first you can see the parameters is integer and long, and we are just printing addition of these two numbers. Again sum I have used, I have taken integer, integer, integer. Okay, and I am printing the sum. I just created an object, okay, of this class, and one I am passing two variables 20, 20. Now here you can see 20 is not long. Okay, it is an integer, but we have learned something called as typecasting. Okay, so this particular 20 is typecasted and the value will be stored in the form of long. Okay, so this is method overloading, where sum is the name which I have used, but the number of parameters are different. One is having two parameters, another is having three parameters. Now I cannot have method having a different data type, return type. Like I said, instead of void, void is what? The return type. If a program is not returning any value, sorry, not the program, the method is not returning any value, we mention void. But what if I write int? Okay, so that thing means this particular method will return, I'll use the return keyword to return the addition of A and B. Okay, that time this example doesn't become an example of method overloading, because here the return type is int and here the return type is void. Even if the method names are same, but the return types also should be same, then only it comes under the category of, or as of type, method overloading. Okay, so this has to be void. Fine. Saved in another folder. Okay, so you can see 2020 we passed. So the output over here is 50, and here I've passed three parameters. The output over here, sorry, it's 40 and then it is 50. So the same function name has been used, but the parameters are different. So this is an example of an method overloading. Okay, now there is one more example which I have mentioned here. Okay, this is a class sum which is returning some value. Okay, so you can see public int is nothing but the return type sum. So here I have taken two integers, so it is returning the value of x plus y. Here I have taken three parameters which are of type int. Okay, and here I have taken two parameters which are of type double. Okay, so we have overloaded sum, but the parameters are different. Okay, or maybe the data types are also different. So here I create an object of sum and I say s dot sum. So this will call the first because both are integers. This will call the second because there are three parameters 10, 20, 30, and this will call the third one because these are of type double. Okay. Fine. So accordingly we are getting the output. So these were the keywords which were remaining, and I guess these things keywords are there in your chapter 3. So I want you to just go through chapter 3, chapter 2. If any point is missed from my side, please WhatsApp me so that I can create a video on that particular topic. And I want you to go through all these three chapters, and we'll be having a small test, an MCQ type of, or maybe programs. So I'll have a small test just for me to understand where are you standing and how much have you understood, and then maybe we can go ahead with the next topic. So be prepared. I will give you a break. Today is Tuesday, so maybe on uh, Thursday I won't send you any video, so you keep that day for studying, and please go through all the three chapters, your first three chapters. In the meantime, any topic is left, do let me know so that I can create a video on that topic and send to you on Thursday. Okay, thank you.